We are live. What's up, historians? Welcome back to another great episode of the Historically Haunted Vodcast with a V, Historically Haunted Podcast right here on Facebook. I have another great guest today. He's backstage in the green room right now chilling. He's all the way in Australia. Right now it's like, I think 8 or 9 a.m. Saturday morning. So right here in America, of course, on the East Coast, it's 7 p.m. my time. Anybody watching the West Coast, it's like, 5 p.m. This fucking cat's already in Saturday. He's already ahead of us. So a little bit about our sponsor real quick. Christina Farner is our sponsor. I had her thing all queued up. There it is right here. Give me a second, guys. The Wi-Fi is a little slow. She runs Crystal Clear Tarot and Tarot. I always say that. Crystal Clear Tarot Vodcast. And she also has her own group page and Facebook page and tarot. And she does the readings. She does daily pulls. She does all that good stuff. You can message her. She'll do individual readings for you and all that stuff. If you go to her Facebook page and join her group, she does free stuff there all the time. Just little free quotes and all that good stuff. She's a longtime fan and watcher of the show. And she did donate to my book fund. She gave me $10 PayPal towards my book. So her name's going to be in my credits, my first book when it's done. And then she gave me another, some more money. Actually, she $25 total. So I told her, you're going to sponsor the show. She didn't want to. There's a guest before. She didn't want to sponsor the show. You're going to sponsor the shows and you're going to sponsor it because I appreciate you. So Christina Farner, shout out to you. My next guest, he is William TABONE. And William from Australia, like Wi-Fi is being slow. I'm trying to bring on his book here. This is one of the books that he sent me, The Ghost of Melbourne, Melbourne, Australia, the CBD Volume 1. He actually sent me that and personally autographed it to me, as well as some books from his wife, Amanda TABONE. And she runs Haunted, Beautiful. Okay, so this is the other book that he sent me. I'm sorry, my YouTube is being super slow, my Facebook. This is Ghost of Arendelle Asylum. That's one of the biggest asylums in the world, one of the most haunted in the world. And that's by William Bill TABONE, the Australian Paranormal Society. He's the founder, co-founder. He's the editor, the whole nine. He's the curator. And of course, like I said, it's lovely Amanda. I've been into Amanda, Haunted, Old, and Beautiful by Amanda APS. That's her Facebook. It's like a group page. It's a regular page. I've been following that since like 2016, guys. She's got thousands upon thousands of followers. And she sent me her first book as well as her second book. I have a bunch of books here signed by her. And of course, by Bill. They sent me a nice little necklace charm. So I couldn't think of just nicer people to bring on. I've actually had Bill on before for season 1. And that's what they run right there. You can find them right on Facebook. So without further ado, my guest, all the way from Australia, William TABONE. What's up, brother?
Mate. Oh, keeping out of trouble.
How are you?
Good, mate.
Keeping out of trouble.
Trying.
I love that. I love that. I know we're on a different time slot. You're in a whole nother world, and obviously we've talked about that. The time is different. It's actually Saturday there. But besides all that stuff, and we can, yeah. so what got you, for those that didn't watch the last episode that you were in, I want to touch on right from the beginning, man. What got you into the field and documentation?
Well, I believe some people are meant to be in this field, and I've always had a drive to be, look at all these weird, the unusual, the strange, the ghosts, the UFOs, the cryptids. Since a little kid, everything I could get my hand on, everything I could watch, everything I could read, I would. It was just a drive. And then I got to around. I always wanted to sort of, do some sort of ghost hunting or something like that. You know what I mean? I wasn't sure. I was a kid. You know what I mean? Most of us don't even know what the hell that day. So, but anyway, 19. I was 19. I did a first investigation at the cemetery, complete botch up. Like, it was horrible. But it was a start. It was the first time out in the field, and haven't looked back, from there. At the first, obviously the first 10 years or so was a bit, just getting the feel of how things work and, working out what things we can use, because we didn't have all the gear available to us that they have now, in the last 10 years. So it was get out there and use what you had. So, really old video cameras, those really big things. We used one of them. Took a full size videotape, like a VHS tape. So, those sort of things. I've even got a couple of reel-to-reel voice recorders, or audio recorders that have been used in the past. So we have them. We had all them.
Yeah.
But it was like walking to an uncharted forest for the first time. We had no idea what we were going to run into and what we were going to do.
No. Yo, you're kind of the pioneers in that neck of the woods. I mean, when you think about it, it's still fairly new. Ed and Lorraine Warren aren't even that old, and you really think about it. So as far as Australia goes, you guys are kind of like the pioneers as far as Australian Paranormal Society. I feel like you guys are.
There's some really good people that have been around for a long time in Australia. Back then, it wasn't very, people didn't even talk about it. You know what I mean? If you told them you went out looking for ghosts, they thought you look stupid. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I think that was everywhere. But we need to get him seen to, So, really, there wasn't a lot back then, mate. We were, well, really, it was only just us. We didn't know of anyone else. There was others, but we didn't know. There wasn't a network. There wasn't Facebook or the internet at that point. Or was it in very early stages? There wasn't the
it was word of mouth, or maybe if you
it wasn't a global thing we had now. Like we'd find a newspaper article, or we'd find a magazine article or a book, and we'd write to those people, and that's how we found information. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's old school.
Pen to paper, kids. That's old school. Pen to paper, kids. Yeah, no electronic bullshit. Right?
What they call it? The snail trail, mate. Snail mail.
That snail trail. Oh, I love that. The show sponsor for today's show, Christina Farner, says hi. She's checking in. She says, "Good morning, Bill." Over there.
Yeah. How you doing?
My girl Heather from Witchin. Heather Witchin came in. Oh, hello. She's downstairs on a laptop watching from downstairs. Dawn Brown from Maine. They run Cemetery. I'm scarred. Jesus Christ. Sorry. Different person. They run Tombstone Paranormal. I mean, Jim Brown and Don Brown, good people.
Nice.
They're good friends of mine. You can trust them, Bill. I missed them in person. Gene Tewksbury, International Zoology Museum, the only one in the world with Lauren Coleman. They chase. Speaking of monsters, Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, Dover. The Mothman, the Mountain. So, thank you, Gene.
Yep.
Actually, backstage, me and Bill were talking about something we both kind of love here, and I got to talk about this because of Gene. Gene sent me some pictures of where they filmed the movie Thinner. It's Richard Bachman, Stephen King, in Belfast, Maine. Remember, he goes, "I'll give that girl a quarter to lift her skirt," and she hears him in that little park, and she lifts her skirt. That girl, that is there in Maine. Gene sent me pictures today. I'm gonna go check it out next weekend, hopefully. So thanks, Gene.
That's an awesome movie.
You're a Stephen King nut, huh, Bill? Yeah, you're a Stephen King head, William.
I really enjoy his movies. They're really good. Yeah.
We were talking backstage a little bit at Storm of the Century. Born in Sin.
I tell you what, mate.
Bill's. Sorry, go ahead. That's from Bill. That's Bill's book. He personally assigned it. Author William Tabone. So go ahead, Bill. I talk a lot. Sorry.
No, you're good, mate. You're good. I was just saying the bad guy on that Storm of the Century is just, that actor is just amazing. He just personifies evil. It's really cool. Yeah, very good movie.
You were like, you don't have to worry about if you fall behind on the lobster boat, you get all those marijuana plants out back your shed. And the guy's like, whoa.
I know. It's just wrong. It's just so bad. Oh, wow.
But if you think about that, like the mindset that goes behind building a character like that, pretty fucking wild. You know what's funny? You know how they have the general store that the constable runs that store, the vegetable store? Yep. That's actually a bed and breakfast, and I've been there in Southwest Harbor, Maine.
Oh, really? Wow. Very cool.
And I didn't spend the night, but I went there and I went to the downtown. It's all snowy in the movie. Yeah. It's still there. Cafe and Inn, and Yeah, buddy, it's fucking. I'll bring you guys come up to Maine. I'll be your personal chauffeur. You know that.
I would love.
You know
I know, mate. It's same over here, mate. We'll take you around. Actually, I just organised I had some friends over from New Zealand, some investigators, and we organised a few things for them over here. So they actually went to Aradale Asylum last night. So they got to spend some time in there. So yeah, so it's things we can organise, which are good when you come over.
That's how it's pronounced.
What was that? Sorry,
Aradale. Well, that's how you pronounce it. Aradale.
Aradale. Okay. Aradale. Yeah, it was the biggest asylum in the southern hemisphere.
Working with
wow. Still has 63 buildings. Massive.
I saw pictures online.
Yeah. Look for the aerial chat. I'm losing you, mate. Sorry.
That's the Wi-Fi. It's hard. But I wanted to show your book. Before we get personal and have some fun, where can people order your guys' books? Where can they find your work?
Hop on Amazon or hop onto our pages. The one I work with is the Australian Paranormal Society, or Amanda's, which is Haunted, Old and Beautiful by Amanda APS. But Amazon, if you go on there and search Aradale Asylum or Ghosts of Melbourne, you should get those books up. Or Amanda's From the Mind of a Medium, which is if you're interested in developing your psychic side of things, Amanda's been seeing things since she was, interacting with the dead since she was about 2 or 3, I think, if I remember correctly. And really spot on. She works mainly cold cases now, so working a lot of with the police and things like that. So very interesting stuff. But if you're interested in developing that, read those books.
She has everything. Not to cut you off, William, but she has everything from her thoughts, like what different color butterflies mean, to I mean, we're talking soul contracts. My mom used to talk about that. The meaning behind rainbows and just animal things, temperature change. You guys get so detailed, and you're so in it, and you're so 100% just no bullshit. Is that fair? You're the real. It's the real deal. I don't just say that.
Look, the thing is, mate. You work from the heart, so you work with what you believe, and what you understand. I mean, I've been in the field a long time. So is Amanda, and you pick up a lot of information, and it's how you use it, it's how you apply it. And Amanda's got a lot of information. She's a wealth of knowledge, and she helps people all the time that she can. And her, as I said, her passion at the moment is really, the last 10 years has really been focusing on cold cases. And I mean, I think last count it was over 200 cases that she's worked on. The thing is, you work from your heart rather than your ego, and that's how you try to get people, information out to people, and you try to develop yourself as well. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it's true, and it says it in her book. It says too, like, if you're not mentally stable or clear, you shouldn't get a home case. Or he says that too, and she talks. Oh, it's about very humble. She's very humble, very down. You guys are both very much about helping people. Hear me? Yeah,
absolutely. My
Wi-Fi is kind of shitty here. Yeah,
that's all right, mate. We'll get through it.
But that's what's big.
Yeah,
but that's what's big, and of course, the asylum's great, but
yeah, look, it's the asylum's great, but it's also a big part of what we do is helping people, and that's where Amanda's stuff comes in. Guiding people, helping people, and I will say happy birthday to her because it is her birthday today. So,
oh, I know she's watching. I've honestly, dude, she's like a unicorn. I cannot get her to come on for the life of me, but I'll take. I love you, dude. I'd love to talk to Amanda, but I respect the hell out of her, and I get it. I had some guests come on before that didn't want to show their faces. It's not for everybody. Some people want to be they want their work to speak for themselves. They don't want the spotlight, and I get that. That's very cool. But happy birthday, Amanda Tabone.
Really,
You're an awesome mother and wife and human and investigator, and we love you. You're a big inspiration to so many. Your kind gifts, you and Bill, sending me books and a necklace. You guys, all the way from, I got a package from Australia, my books and a necklace in it. I'm like, oh my God. I cried, dude, man. I didn't even get presents for my family for Christmas. You guys sent from Australia.
Oh, man. So. She was rapt to do that, mate. She was really happy to do that. And you know, we think a lot of you anyway. That, you know, you're out there, you're doing a lot of good stuff. You're a good bloke, and you know, we like to help those who you know who are good. You know what I mean? It's and who we, you know, who are genuine. We're genuine. You know, and that's the thing.
We take care of each other. Sometimes we have gripes and gropes with others, and sometimes, you know, I get it. Sometimes egos or certain things get in the way, or maybe someone had a bad day. But for the most part, I think the real ones see the real ones, and the genuine sticks through good and bad. And yeah, you already know, man. I don't have to kiss your ass. You already know how much I feel about you guys. And I'm just pink to have you come on the show in short notice.
Anyway, you know what? I always love coming on your show. But you know, we always have a bit of fun, a bit of a laugh, chat, which is good. So yeah, I enjoy it.
I love it. That fucking beard's looking good. The fucking beard of yours is looking nice and long, man. Catch up.
It's getting grayer, but isn't it, mate? Like, you know, teenage kids, mate. Look, it actually needs a trim because it's out of.
Cheers to the gray.
It's out of balance.
My old lady loves the gray. She goes, "Don't dye it. Keep the gray. It's hot."
I was. Well,
I know it's too early for beer, but for you at least.
Have a beer, bro. We Mandy, as you know, she has long blonde hair, and I said years ago, I said, I'll shave my beard off. She said, well, shave your beard off, I'll cut my hair. So I kept the beard.
Oh,
it's a balancing act. We got to do what we got to do,
You're
bro.
a good man. You got anything? That's right, brother. That's right. Amen to that. You got anything fun planned today with her? You guys doing anything crazy? Anything lunch or something?
We're gonna go out for dinner. Yeah, we're gonna go out. Actually, we're going to see the movie The Pope's Exorcist. So we're gonna go see.
Oh, Pope's.
Yeah. So we're gonna take the sons
movie.
And
Good pick. Oh.
We've got the sons and their girlfriends, and we're heading out there, and then we're going out for dinner afterwards. So I'm not sure where yet, but probably just somewhere local, but pretty quiet. So keep we've got I got one son he plays basketball, my youngest, and so he's got their season starts this next week, I think it is, but they got a thing today they got to do, so we got that during the day. And I got another son who's Joey. He's studying music, so or music production, and he's working on a new album. So he's been busting his gut, getting everything together for that. So it's a busy time at the moment, mate. So trying to finish up his university, and So it's always busy, but we're going to do that for Amanda today. So yeah.
You're an involved parent. You're an involved father, and that's big. And you're a good husband. You're taking care of your wife, and that's big too. And of course, you love but family comes first. That's just how it is. Family, then fun, and then you're doing that, William. You're a good man, dude. Yeah. I look up to you. Well, I love your post. You're very humble. I love you, man. You're a good dude.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So I mean, we do what we can do, mate. We try to do our best. Everyone does, as far as I believe. Some people, yeah. They just. I've always been the sort of person I'd rather be home with my family than going out running around, with mates and things. It's always been that's the way I am. I love my kids. I love my family. Spend time with them as much as I can, because I believe in the long run, you can always buy, people can buy people things and things like that. For me, it's being there and having experiences with your kids, and giving them stuff that they can look back on, and
that's it.
Instead of saying, "Oh, look, I remember Dad bought me this," I remember Dad did this with us.
Memories, man. This with Dad.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
you know, yeah.
Yeah,
well, the last time I was in the
it's
States,
100% right.
yeah, I was just going to say the last time I went to the States, I took my son with me. He's 20 now, but he was 13 then. Like, you know, that's an experience that, you know, he'll cherish, you know, and you know, the next trip will be with the other boys as well. So, you know, it's I'm fingers crossed, you know, but that's the
You went to
plan.
Gettysburg,
So,
right?
yeah, Gettysburg.
Gettysburg with him, yeah. You went.
Yeah, we went to
Yes.
Gettysburg. We went to New York. We went
Oh.
to New Orleans, San Antonio in Texas.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, you
yeah.
gotta hold on a
We
minute. That's my number one bucket list is New Orleans. New Orleans.
New
Oh.
Orleans. I loved it, mate. We were only there. We were really only there for 2 days, but it was we actually drove down from San Antonio to New Orleans. It was a road trip. It was really cool.
No
and
shit.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. That was
Would that take
cool.
about 20 hours? 12 hours?
No, about 9 hours.
Oh,
About
no
9
shit.
hours.
About a work day. 8, 9 hours. No shit. All right.
It's all the freeways.
That's not bad.
No, that was
That's true.
You know, you're on the freeways, you're driving, and it was fun because, you know, like we had our mates with us. We had Brad Clinton with us and his kids. We had a blast. We were laughing the whole way down. You know, him and Joe were doing impersonations and things like this the whole way. We just it went like that, you know. So we got there. Yeah,
well, that's
we
your
went
memories you're talking about with your close friends, your kin, your family, whatever.
Exactly.
And that's half the fun. Instead of flying somewhere, half the fun of going somewhere is the road trip there. So and so making a funny joke, or Timmy farted, or fucking Megan threw up the pizza. Oh, remember that time she threw up, or whatever. You know what I mean? Everybody remembers, and it's fun.
Yeah, you know it is. And
I like that.
It was a blast. New Orleans was great, but we had a blast in New Orleans. It was brilliant. You know, I had funny story. We had we went to.
You go in Antonio, Texas to New Orleans. That's dope. I've never done that. We got a question for you, William. In chat, yes. We got a question here. I'll bring it on.
What is the scariest Australian wildlife moment? Oh, look, for me.
Good question, Heather. Thank you, Heather, beautiful girl.
That's yeah, it's a good question. You know, the thing is, you know, you see all these things about Australia, and there's, you know, they've got some of the deadliest snakes in the world, deadliest spiders. Everything wants to kill you, from what, you know, everyone believes in other countries that everything in Australia wants to kill you. And yes, we have all that sort of stuff. But like, you know, for example, snakes, you know, we have the inland taipan, which is not where I live. It's up further in Australia, and it will actually hunt you. It will chase you down. You know what I mean?
No way.
Most snakes run away. And they, you know, they hear you coming. They actually hear vibration, so they hear your footsteps, and you'll see them. They'll take off before you even see them. 99% of the time. But a taipan is very aggressive, and it will see you in the distance and will actually come after you. It will chase you.
Oh my fucking god! It attacks you.
Yeah, we don't actually have them where I live, which is lucky because I hate snakes. But the scariest, that's, you know, hearing about that sort of stuff is probably the scariest thing you think about when you're out in the bush. But for me, I truly haven't really had a great deal of scares. And I used to go out in the bush all the time, so I'd seen snakes and I've seen all that sort of stuff. Spiders. Well, probably if you really want to be, if you don't like spiders, for example, I was we were in a place called Wilson's Promontory, and it was dry season, so there was not a lot of water around. So me and another guy had a couple of mates with me, and we went up through this rainforest to find this little spring. So it's just a little trickle of water, fresh water to fill our things up. When we got back, or on the way back, I walked through some ferns, and I had probably a couple of hundred small black spiders running all over me. Right?
Oh my fucking god! My girl Heather would flip. Like she has big mosquitoes. Mosquitoes that we're wussies. Holy shit!
Crap! Yeah, brushed all of them off. Anyway, got back, and then we thought, feel something else. Took our tops off, and we had some leeches on us, which is, you know, they hadn't dug in, so we pulled them off. That's probably one of the creepiest ones. Oh, I'll tell you actually another spider. If you really like spiders, you're going to love this one. I went to my ex-wife's father-in-law's house to pick up a tarpaulin, you know, a sheet to cover on a tent, and I had to get it from underneath the house. So I got that out.
Oh yeah.
Put that in the car. Nighttime, driving down this big road. It's a big hill coming down. It's like a 4-lane road. It's a big road, and I felt something walking down my arm, like this. And I said to my,
In the dark.
Oh, I said to my ex, hold the wheel, will you? And she's going, why? Hold the wheel. Because at that time we only had the wind up windows, the old wind up windows, and wind down. So this thing's walked down my arm. I've grabbed it like this. So I've grabbed it, and its body was caught. So this thing in the streetlights was about as big as my hand, right? And I'm holding it, and it's going like this.
Shit.
And I said to my exes, I said, hold the wheel. She goes, why? I said, just hold the wheel. I wound the damn window down. I threw him out the window. And
holy
yeah. Well, I didn't have much.
You're not selling Australia too good to my girl. She's not going to want to go now.
No, to be honest, it's not what you think. You know, we
JC Paranormal sending love. Hello.
Yes, all that.
And Identified S5. Thanks for checking in on YouTube. Thank you so much, brother. Good to see you. Oh my fucking God. That's wild, dude. That's wild. Yeah. I can see it in my head. Some sort of like alien predator, like arachnophobia shit.
It was a really big, what we call a huntsman. It was just a really big spider. And they don't usually, I mean, they get big, but not that big. That was just, we must have been living the high life underneath the father-in-law's house. So there you go.
You didn't check that blanket tarp thing.
Oh, no, well. I didn't. I just picked up, put it in the car, which was really dumb.
Let me just I want to bring on your page on Facebook. 1 second.
Yes, mate. No worries.
And right here. You guys can find them here. 120,000 likes, 123,000 follows. And as you can see, you can get their books. And they have their stuff. They share stuff a lot. Look at that. I know him.
Happy chap. Yeah, so
and there we go. So you guys can check them out.
That's great. Thanks, mate.
You guys are awesome. You guys always say to me too, and you say to everybody, come on our group thing and share your content. So a lot of times I share my posts, I share my feed, and I've gained a lot of new followers from Australia, Ireland, Scotland, New Zealand. You guys fucking reach all over, William.
We got a pretty good network, mate. So as you know, we try to, you know, we talk to anyone. You know, so and it's good to have people from different areas. You know, like, I mean, how many times have I been stuck and I've had someone contact me, they've got a problem, and you know, I can reach out to other groups and say, look, are you able to have a look at this for me? You know, and they have. You know, I mean, I actually had a cattle farmer up in northern Queensland contact me because they were having cattle mutilations. And you know, it wasn't like it was a dingo, which is a wild dog or something like that. These
maybe a dingo ate your baby. I remember that. Maybe a dingo ate your baby.
A dingo ate.
That's alien shit, though.
Yeah, and what happened was, there was this big chunk missing out of this dead animal, and no blood. There was no blood anywhere. The whole body was drained of blood. So I was able to make a phone call, and then I made 1 or 2 phone calls, and I found someone who was 15 minutes away from this woman who could go out to this remote property, who was an investigator, a UFO investigator, ufologist. So, you know, that's the network, you know, that's what we like to have. So, yeah.
See, I actually reached out to friends of yours as well. Nat and Elliot, ACG of ACG Paranormal from Chicago. There was a person last year that had a haunted object. I couldn't go to Chicago from Maine. It would take me 25 fucking hours. So I reached out to them, and they handled it. And that's what you do. I think networking, because we want to do what we can, but man, you know, I can't help someone in San Francisco like you can't help someone in Portugal. But if you know someone by there, you can spread the love. And I think that's what it's used to be. I think paranormal is supposed to be unity, not a peacock show. Like, oh, your evidence sucks. Mine's better. I don't care about that. Let's compare and see what we can work with. But I think there's a lot of people that just want to be the Zach Bagans bullshit. Pardon my language. But I think the people like you in a manner that want to be in it for the real people. Cold cases, man. That's what it's about.
You know, a lot of times there's no love in it. You know, you can't, you know, you're doing it for just, you're doing it for good. You know what I mean? But, you know, you're right. You know, there's unfortunately some people have ego, you know what I mean? And, you know, they want, we've got, everyone in every country's got these groups that are, you know, it's just not nice. You know what I mean? They want to be number one. They want to be, you know, famous.
Hollywood.
You know,
Hollywood,
you know?
Glamorized TV.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's bullshit, dude.
It's like, you know, it's like the movies and you know, the shows are for entertainment. You know what I mean? You know, out in the real field, it's a different world. You know what I mean? And although I'd love to say that the field will have paranormal unity at some point, I don't believe it. I don't think it will happen. I think you can have paranormal unity within your own circles and working with other good people in other good circles, but you will never have 100% unity in the field. And I'm not being negative. It's just from
in life, unfortunately. Yeah, I think that goes with in life, man.
I mean, even if it's not ego, you know, you have personality clashes. You have, you know, and people act like children. You know what I mean? You know, we're supposed to be adults, and you have a difference with someone, you don't have to work with that person. You know, you don't have to disrespect them, but as well. So, you know what I mean?
You have a choice. You don't have to run their name to the mud. You don't have to run their name or call them names. Like, I used to work for the team in Maine. I'm not going to say names, but I couldn't work with them anymore because I wasn't taken seriously. Get that, me. But I mean, I wasn't like, I felt like I was just a number, so I went off on my own. But now, excuse me, I'm more focused on history and movie filming scenes, and it's kind of getting me, dude. Honestly, I don't even want to brag, but I wanted to bring this up on the podcast, and I haven't had a chance to tell anybody. I think you'd appreciate that. Oh, real quick, hi, Mr. Yeah,
Dave.
Awesome, dude. I am. They refurbished. They cleaned up the truck from Pet Cemetery that killed Gage in the first one, the big red truck.
Yeah.
They want me to do it in the 4th of July parade in Maine.
Oh, awesome. That's cool, man.
How could I fucking say no? They go, well, the guy that killed Gage, Donnie, I'm friends with him. He lives in Florida, but he's from Maine. And he said, they asked me to drive the truck. Do you want to sit shotgun? You want to sit passenger seat? I fucking almost pissed my pants. I'm going to sit in the truck that killed Gage in Pet Cemetery by Stephen King in 4th of July. Oh, I better. Oh, I want you. Not trying to brag, but I thought of you because I know you're a big King fan. And if you were here, dude, you'd be in it with me. You know, you would.
I'll sit on your lap.
I fucking love you, William. You've been nothing but kind. I want to promote your book again, Manny. I couldn't bring them all into my room, but he's got them all on site. Him and his wife, guys, they got about 5, 6 together. You working on a new one anytime soon? I know life's hectic. You're a father, a husband. You working on a new novel or book or anything? Or
volume. Well, working on another volume of the Ghost of Melbourne. I actually have written a couple of things that I've got there waiting in the backgrounds as well. And Amanda's got a couple of books. She's got one written that we need to get in and edit, but that's going to be a big one. That's going to be a really big job. And yeah, she's working on another one at the moment. So we'll see how we go. It's just we try to
I mean, you got a lot
in between her work and just general life. You sort of squeeze everything you can in, as you know. You try to do the best you can.
You got some boys. You got a boy active in sports, a boy active in music. I used to sing in a band, Culling the Herd. I sang for 5 years. People compared me to Pantera, Lamb of God, kind of raw, kind of like.
I can see that. I can see that. I can see that, bro. That's
I used
awesome.
to take the microphone cord. I had the microphone cord, and I'd hang myself with it. And I had blood capsules, and I'd have blood on my mouth.
No.
And one time they called the ambulance on me. They thought I was bleeding. I go, no, it's fake. And they got all mad at me. Oh, boy. They didn't like me when Culling the Herd came to town, boy. They fucking knew there'd be fake blood like war, you know. You know American bands, right? Metal and stuff, yeah?
Yeah. We like, well, Mandy used to be a singer. She used to have her own band. She She was she's got a great voice. She has got a good voice.
Did you kick him on the fucking podcast and she sang front girl in a fucking band?
You know what?
I'm giving her shit. Happy birthday. I love her. I'm giving her shit. Dude, you can play drums or bass.
Oh, mate.
You play guitar? You play guitar or anything? You play drums?
I have not got a musical bone in my body, bro.
Oh, stop. Bullshit. I don't believe that for a second.
I'll tell you a quick story. I went to an old boys' school, and everyone had to try it for the choir. So you go in there and you sing your scales, right? And I remember I got in there, I got halfway through these, through these scales, and they said, "No, thank you." I didn't even get to finish the scales.
Microphone drop.
Oh my God, man! I said, "Thank you, I'm out."
No shit, huh?
I got no musical talent at all, bro. But hey, my boys,
knowledge elsewhere, right?
Oh, well, that's it, mate. We all have our strengths, but most of my kids have got they got a really good taste in music. It's not, they'll even from the youngest right up. I got 5 kids, so oldest one's 30, youngest one's 13. They're all got really good taste in music and wide variety. I'll jump in the car with my 17-year-old and he'll pop on, like Coward of the County or some country music for me because I love the Gambler and that sort of music as well. As well as heavy stuff. But he'll
okay, yeah.
He has that in his playlist because I introduced him. Or Warren Zevon, Warren Zevon I was a big fan of Warren Zevon, mate.
Oh, and, old school, my old, yes.
Yeah, very weird.
You ever heard of the Dead South? You ever heard of them?
No,
the Dead South.
Yeah, I haven't.
They play drums. They play banjo. They snap their fingers and they all sing in unison. And they're very trippy. Check out The Dead, DEAD, The Dead South on YouTube. No drums. No drums. No. Very odd shit, but it's country. Yeah. I think you'd like it. They got banjos and shit. It's cool.
Yeah. Mate, I'm proud of them because they're open to everything. You know what I mean? And they'll have rap music playing. Because my 20-year-old's a rapper. That's what he does. But
no shit.
Yeah. Tab Ones, they calls himself. So he's done a few gigs.
Oh.
He's done a few gigs around it.
I look all around that shit. Wow.
Yeah. No, he's he goes really hard. It's not this. We did it. I went to a gig with him to watch, and they had some blokes that were singing rap, but it was romance music, love songs and things. And I've gone, it doesn't fit in, you know what I mean? And then my boy gets up there and is blasting it, with his voice. He's got this massive voice, and and it just shook the place. So yeah,
wow.
But a very wide range of interest in music. So there you go.
Dude, you're one of the most wide range, interesting guests I think I've ever had in my 2.5 years of this. I did an interview with New York Times at the end of season 1. They talked about it because I've had America's first serial killer, H.H. Holmes, great-great-grandson on. A couple weeks ago, I had the girl Sadie Johnson on from Halloween. She was Mike Myers' sister. She was Mike Myers' first kill.
Yep.
So who else I have been on next week? They did the behind the scenes work for Graveyard Shift by Stephen King.
Yes,
big rats in the big bag. Yeah. I also got the guy. Hopefully, he's coming on. The guy that did the makeup for Thinner. The big gypsy dude, hopefully coming on. And then 2 weeks after that, dude, I got Dr. Satan from House of a Thousand Corpses by Rob Zombie. Dr. Satan with the gas mask. So I'm starting to branch out, motherfucker. I'm starting to get some fucking wild people, man. Who knows?
You got some traction there, man. You got some traction happening with those people, mate. That's awesome. You're killing it.
It's gonna be wild, man.
That's fantastic, bro.
Dude,
that's
just
fantastic.
I just, you know what? I emailed them. I messaged the manager. I talked to him. I got no balls. I'm sorry. I got balls. I got no fear. And I just say the worst they can say is no. Or the worst they can say is it costs $500, and then I'll say no. But they're all saying, come on for free. I'm like, shit.
Mate,
right?
it's on a computer, mate. It doesn't cost you anything to sit in front of your computer. You know what I mean?
You're the man. Look at you. You're literally a day ahead of me right now. What's tomorrow like anyway?
I got up, I made a coffee, I walked in here, got my computer operational. I haven't even looked outside at the moment.
Oh, we got a burlesque dancer on. She burlesque danced here. Heather London, great show, guys. Thanks. I watched her perform live. She does belly dancing and shit to music. She's going to come on in actually a couple of weeks as well. Barefoot Truth Dance Company.
Very cool.
Barefoot Naked Truth. I'm buzzed. It's something like that. They're from Portland. Barefoot. Type it in the comments. You name your Barefoot Naked Truth Company dance. Shit, I don't remember. So William, give me some of your bucket list, my brother. What's some of the places you haven't been to yet? Give me one for like around the world, and give me one for America. Give me two of them.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of America. I love America. I'd love to get back there and just hit some of the places I've already done, but add some new ones. Things like
Salem.
Salem. I would love to spend some time in Salem. Out of
You've never been?
Never been. No, I haven't been to Salem.
What?
No, I haven't. It's I would love to do like Waverly Hills, Eastern State Penitentiary, which I missed when I was in Philly. I did Fort Mifflin instead. That was cool. And then outside, I'd love to. Mandy wants to go to Rose Hall, which is I think Jamaica, if I remember correctly. That's apparently a really haunted location. Rose Hall, yeah, it's haunted. I think by the
to Amanda.
Yeah, that's one of her bucket lists. But mate, I tell you, like that'd be great. But I'd also love. My father comes from Malta, which is in Mediterranean Europe, and they have some old temples there, like really old temples, 4,000 years before Christ they were made. They're older than the pyramids, right? They also
holy shit! This is BC. This is BC. What?
Big BC.
BC.
And,
we're talking. Wow.
Yeah. And there's some caves there that like a whole. There's one cave where a whole school class actually walked in and never came out. Right, went missing. So I'd love to get down into some of these places and actually spend some time. So, I have been there.
Reed, brother. You're a Reed. You know that's not normal, right, Bill? Bill, that's not a normal answer. My whole class went missing. I can't wait to go.
You know what? It's funny because we actually have a place here called Hanging Rock, which is a really big rock formation. And there's this story that was written. You might have heard of it, Picnic at Hanging Rock, and a bunch of girls from a girls' school went missing, and everyone people always believed that it was real, but it's not. It's a made-up story, right?
That's a Blair Witch. That's a movie, right? That's a Blair Witch project.
No. This is called Picnic at Hanging Rock, which is, and it's sort of supernatural. It's a 1970s movie. It's it's a book, but it's not a real story. So but people believe it's real. So sometimes we need to find out what's real and what's not. But I've been to this place, and it's a weird location, mate. Very strange. A lot of energy, a lot of really weird energy up there. So,
so it's a real place, but the story's not real. You're saying?
Story's not, no. Look, it may have been based on someone going missing, because people have gone missing around different places up there. But the story itself is not real. So we really need to discern which is real, which is not. So I know the story of the children in Malta in this cave is a real story, and they, search parties. There was all sorts of things. So I know that was real. But it would be interesting. And you know what? The other thing always gets me is Malta. Malta's obviously Malta is their national their language, but they were an English colony, so English is almost a second language to them. But in these countries, like Italy, Germany, etc., when we conduct EVP sessions, how we do we speak to them in English, or should we speak to them in what might have been their native language? That's
people don't think about that.
Yeah. And also because dialects and language changes over time. So if you're speaking in a temple that's 4,000 years old, what language did they speak back then? So
people in America get so confused. I'm like, we got Native Americans, we have possible Vikings, not to mention Frenchmen. We got a new language, America, that's fairly new, not to mention it's changed how many fucking times over the past 50 years? Like that no one ever talks about that. Good evening. Hello, George. How are you? Hello from British Columbia. I think that might be a first. BC. That's killer. Hello, Sherry. Heather's got a question for you, Bill. What is the biggest natural food grown in Australia?
Good question. That's good. We have well, I would have to say it's probably cattle, beef, lamb, that sort of thing. The industries are huge. We have cattle stations that are millions of kilometers square, like bigger than some countries. So one farm will be bigger than some countries, and thousands, hundreds of thousands of cattle run. Yeah. So I would say probably livestock. Yeah. Lamb.
Wow. Beef, so fuck Texas. You want a steak? Go to Australia, mate. Wow. Yeah, boy.
Everything's bigger in Texas. But also we have massive crops as well, like all sorts of things. It just Australia's a very big country in the farms and such, and especially
you're self-sufficient.
Well,
you don't rely on imports, do you really so much?
We do have imports. It's really funny, like it's a political thing as well. So they'll export a lot of stuff, but then they'll import things that they could make here as well. You know what I mean? So governments are very strange in the way they do things.
I used to listen to Silverchair. Silverchair doesn't like them.
No,
the old rock group. Yeah, yeah. But Fat Boy, wait till tomorrow. And they talked about it was your leader back there, back in the 90s.
Right. Yes,
the big fat snout guy. All right, we got about 20 minutes here. We'll keep it going a little bit. We're having some fun. I know it's early there, and I'm sure you want to start your day, so I don't want to bug you too much. But I got a couple more questions. Well, I want to cut the fat because I got some good questions.
Ask away, brother. Ask away.
Oh, okay. What do you guys use for protection? And you do, like Amanda, have sage? Do you guys have gems and rocks, like witchy type stuff? Little protection stuff? Shells?
The way I look at it is protection is very personal. It's personal for each person. So what works for me you might not be happy doing. Do you know what I mean? But in general, we look at doing what we call a grounding. So we ground ourselves to Mother Earth. But I'm very eclectic in my belief. I was raised a Catholic, and I still believe. But I also believe in that there's a link between a lot of different beliefs. So when we connect to Earth, we're also connecting to to God, whoever God might be. So we'll do grounding. Sometimes we'll carry, if people can carry crystals. We carry crystals if we need. I have a couple of necklaces. I have a rune necklace which a friend made of mine for me for protection. I'll wear that. It works. It works for me. But also, what people need to understand is protection is not like we ground ourselves. We go in if we need to stop during an investigation when we're feeling a bit overwhelmed or something's not right, we'll come out, we'll do some more protection, we'll go back in. So it's an ongoing thing. And then also protection is also when we finish. So when we leave the environment, we need to make sure we're not bringing anything with us. So sometimes we might just ground, sometimes we might sage, sometimes, you know, we'll include a prayer. It's quite eclectic in you know, we draw from a lot of different things in our protection. And really, it's like when I'm doing a clearing or a cleansing, or, you know, trying to move something on, it's for me, it's very much I feel it, like I feel what needs to happen, and
Right.
I'll do what I need. You have your standard, you have your baseline, you have your base, what you can do, but when it comes down to it, you know, you really need to feel what the situation is at the time and what you need to do, if that makes sense. You know, it's like, I suppose it's like when you're playing golf, you know, which club do you use, you know, and you won't know till you see where the ball's sitting.
That's true. Yeah. Give me the 9-iron.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute, the 3-wood.
No.
Oh, that's cool. I like you.
Go ahead.
You explained it. No, seriously, you explained it right on, because I think a lot of people, and I'm not trying to poke fun at people, but the weekend warriors, they're going to get some gummy bears. They're going to go out on the weekend. They're going to go ghost hunting at some haunted place. And sometimes they do more harm than good, I think, and they don't even realize it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think there's some people that take it seriously, like you and me, and it's rough, because sometimes, like you said, it leaves more harm than good. So it's like, yeah, then you got to pick up someone's mess. But
people, you know, they do. A lot of people do think it's a hobby, it's a game, and it's not. I mean, I made a mistake once, and I didn't protect myself properly coming out of an investigation. And I remember I got really sick. I was 3 days I couldn't get out of bed, and
shit!
I saw doctors. They just said it's a bug. They couldn't tell me what was going on. Eventually, I ended up getting a medium I knew to come in and do a cleansing on me, and I had all this crap on me. And as soon as he did that, I was up. I was fine. I was tired, but I was fine. Now, you know, it's a dangerous thing when you don't, you know, when you bring something with you, or, you know, something attaches to you that you don't want. So, you know,
well, real quick, to this day, you don't know what the fuck that was, do you? That day in the hospital.
In the what? Sorry.
The day in the hospital, like, you don't have a written report that it was a such and such flu.
No. They couldn't tell me what it was. They couldn't tell me what bug it was. It was literally. I felt like I'd been hit in the head with an axe. I couldn't lift myself up out of bed. I was just under attack. I was drained. You know, I had no fight in me.
Something tried to either enter you, or something tried to take you. I don't know, man. I believe in that shit. I mean, I think there's some of us that really do. Some go there and they go, "Oh, I'm so scared. What are you gonna do?" Woo. They really kind of mock it and think it's a stupid fucking everyday weekend show thing. And then there's people like us that kind of live it, like Amanda, who's doing cold cases. You don't see those on Facebook because you're not supposed to, and she wouldn't anyway. That's helping people with closure. That's stuff on trial. That's real shit. Yeah. And I just want to say real quick, from all of your fans that love you and Amanda, you guys, you raise half dozen kids, and you still have time to share spiritual things, inspirational things, funny things, nice things on your pages. And we appreciate you guys for all you do, because you help a lot. Amanda runs help, and you do a lot on your paranormal page, Australian Paranormal Society. And from me and a lot of people around the world, not just Americans and stoners, Spain, fucking A, man. I have a lot of people on you guys, and a lot of people thank me because you guys post quality stuff, beautiful pictures, inspirational stuff. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. No, thank you, brother. It's, you try to mix it up so that everyone gets something. You know what I mean? And that's how it works. So, yeah.
All right. We got about 5-10 minutes left. Do you plug anything before we go? You want to plug like a YouTube channel or anything like that? You working on a new book, something?
Just working on working on new books. YouTube has been a bit slow getting back into that after COVID, unfortunately. But you know, there's lots of plans coming up for when. Oh, you're awesome with those books, brother. But yeah, look, we're still working on our research, putting things together, learning all the time, trying to learn. But you know, as I say to anyone, if you've got any questions, we're messing around here, we're having a bit of fun. But you know, if you've got questions, please contact us. We'll help you out as best we can. Even if it's just to make a comment, if you think we should look at something different or we should do something different, please. You know, we're always open to hear what people have to say. People like Adam here doing an awesome job giving people a platform to get up here and plug their stuff.
Dude, I invite people to your pages, and next thing you know, man, it's like we get a careful of books. You didn't just like sign something. You guys signed every book. Literally, you signed both your books. You signed hers. You gave me a necklace that I wear when I don't shower, so I might not have it on right now, but I wear it. And you gave me this care package from Australia that I've never gotten, man. And I fucking cried, dude, because you guys are. And if you guys like their shit, they're not gonna send you their books. But what I'm saying is, if you buy them, you'll probably personalize them if they ask you to, right?
We do, yeah. If they get them from Amazon, they come straight from Amazon. But if we have copies here that we can sign and send. You just let us know, and we'll organise for you to get the payment across to us, and mailing and that sort of stuff. And we're really open. So, but yeah,
good people.
Contact us.
Gene from International Cryptozoology Museum, the home of Nessie and Wessie and all them. Wow. Beautiful. This is why I have so much respect for William and others like him who do this work in the paranormal field. I couldn't, because I would be afraid of bringing things back with me. And see, Gene will go in the woods. Gene looks for wildcats in Maine. She looks for cougars and black panthers and fucking cheetahs, but she won't look in graveyards.
I was going to say, you got these things that can rip you up, and you're worried about his spirit, man. You're braver than I am, I can tell you.
I know. She's a crazy girl. I know.
I actually saw. I told Gene. I actually saw. I witnessed the Black Panther here in Australia. Quite a few years ago now. I was coming back from a festival that I was working at up in the bush, and I pulled over the side of the road for something, and in this field, probably 150, 200 meters away, I saw this big thing, black thing, walking across the field, and had the feline tail, where it curls up. I thought it was a dog, and then I thought maybe it's a horse. It wasn't. No, it doesn't look like. And then it just hit me. I thought, that's a cat. That's a big cat. So this thing, I would say, was probably body length would have been maybe 4 or 5 feet. It was big. It was a big cat. And
common for that area.
No, well, I've got I've got some friends that are crypto people, and one of them looks for the cats and things as well. I got another mate who's really big into the Yowie, which is the Australian Bigfoot, and the experiences that they've had, mate. He's told me, and I thought, wow, that's crazy. And it's not just one. They had to leave a valley because they were actually surrounded by these things with rocks being thrown, wood banging. And these things followed them out. So on each side, they could see the movement in the bush on each side while they walked up the trail. It's scary stuff, man. Scary stuff. So, I love crypto, and I love ufology as well as the ghost hunting. I really.
Well, I want to get into that. If you don't mind, we can go a couple minutes over. If you don't mind, I know I don't want to run over your time. But I got to ask you, because you touched earlier on the cattle, like being categorized and being blooded. Do you guys follow up? I know you're paranormal, but I kind of consider it the umbrella as far as aliens, monsters. You guys incorporate all that?
Yeah, we do. We're more focused, obviously. My specialty is more haunting spirits, the demonic side of things. That sort of, good and bad. Yeah. But we do have we have done UFO cases. We have done some crypto, but we have people. There's people out there that specialize in that. And when it's someone like that lady in that farm, she's in the state, we call it station, the cattle station. She was worried, and her neighbor was as well, and they were seeing lights and all sorts of things, as well as some cattle getting mutilated. So I'd rather have someone who was more educated in that area handle that than I could go out there. I could set up, trail cameras. I could do all that sort of stuff, and try to film what's going on. And you can tell the difference, when something's been cut with a tool or with teeth, that sort of thing. I can do all that. I can write a report. I can do witness statements. I can do all that. But these other guys are much more adept at doing that sort of stuff. So like Gene would be much better at looking at what we call a Yowie investigation or a Yowie sighting than I would. So I would normally hand over.
Someone that knew you or was in that ave could message you and you could point them in the right direction, or at least, I mean, you would know. You must have clicks or people and
I have, and that's the point. We build this network because you have to have. That's where you can't work with ego, because what happens with ego, even in paranormal, in spirit cases, is people get themselves in over their head. They don't know really what to do. They're trying to help someone, but they could be making it worse. So you're better to say, look, let me go and speak to a colleague who knows a bit more about this, get them to come in, either help you out or take over the case.
2 words, Peter Venkman. Peter Venkman from Ghostbusters. I love Bill Murray, but he is just, I can handle it. No, dude, call a demonologist. I can handle it. No, dude, call a doctor. He just can handle everything, and he just wants to impress everybody. But exactly. That's kind of tongue-in-cheek who these people are. There's the Dan Aykroyds, there's the Egons, and then there's the Peters.
That's exactly right. Well said. I never thought of it like that, but it's well said. But you just need to know when to step back and say I can't handle that. I'm sorry.
So you know your limitations, right? You know your limitations. You're not you're not an exorcist, but I'm sure there's enough people to where you could finally find someone down the drain. I know my role. I'm a historian. I'm not even really an investigator. I'm just a historian. I'll look up the land. I'll find out who bought it, who lived there, who died, who killed someone there, who used to live there. The whole fucking nine. I love that. I'm a history geek, is what it comes down to. Exactly. That just coats it with movies and ghosts a little bit to get the history in there somewhere.
It all mixes in, doesn't it? I mean,
I think so. Everything, right? I mean, it's like a cake. You need the batter. You need the wheat. You need the fucking egg. You need the milk. You need to make it all to make it right? Otherwise, it's just a pile of shit.
Exactly. On their own, they're not much. You know what I mean? Together, they make a cake. So, yeah, exactly. The movies tell a story, even if it might not be completely accurate. It gives people an idea. The ghosts are, it's part of that story. The spirits or the hauntings are part of that story. Everything's a story, and us as humans, we love to hear a story. So people will, if I sit here and I sprout facts at someone, built in 1957, you might not take it in. But if I tell you a story, hey, listen, I got this mate, and he had this experience at this place. This building, mate, it was built in 1957. And it goes.
The guy that owned it was a blacksmith, and they heard metal tinging like horse hooves, and they think it's the blacksmith making horse hooves.
Exactly. Exactly. So the people will take it in a lot better if it's put in that sort of form. Yeah.
Lizzie Borden's house, it's 18 something. Okay, well, Lizzie Borden killed her mother and father there. Oh, it's like Gettysburg. Gettysburg's a beautiful countryside, but you throw in it's one of the bloodiest battles on American soil history, and Abraham Lincoln was there. Next thing you know, people want to have conventions in there and meetings and campouts and tours because of significance, right? I got to get your ass to Salem. I'm going to bring you and the 18 kids and your wife to Salem and Stephen King's house. We'll go look for mermaids. We'll go have a pint where mermaids are seen.
Nice.
Before I let you go, we're going to go. Go ahead.
No, I said nice. That'd be nice. I'd love that.
Would it? Would you really come? Would you? I mean, you guys are planning to come down this year, possibly, or next year?
Yeah. Look, it depends. I'm actually. I don't know whether I don't talk about it much, but I'm actually been off work for two years because I injured myself. I actually had a workplace injury, and we're working through that at the moment. So I haven't. I've busted up a shoulder pretty bad. I can't. I can't do much with it at the moment. So it's still getting treatment. It's had surgeries and things, and yes, we will. whether it's
I
later
put my
this year or
back
whether
up and they
it's
don't
next
believe me,
year.
so I got a DoorDash to make money. I deliver fucking lazy pieces of shit their food all day long in cities to make a buck to pay my rent because I don't get paid for my back being fucked up. So yeah, man, I'm sorry to hear that, Bill. I'm sorry to hear that.
It's horrible. It's horrible. Oh well, you know, mate, it is what it is, mate, and we work through it. But so yeah, so
Cheers.
it all depends on we're going through certain things. Cheers, brother. We're working through certain things at the moment. Once that's done, then we can look at doing something. We'll see how we go. Yeah, but I can't wait to get back there. As I said, whether it's this year or next year, it will be happening. So
I tell you, man, I can't. I only have a small trailer. I could probably, like I said, you guys in the yard or my couch, but I can guarantee you at least a tour of some fun shit. Usually, I would charge people. People in America, I'll charge. You guys come in from Australia, see the care package of like these books, probably $100, whatever. I would be tickled pink to show you his house, where Pet Cemetery was, where he filmed it. Long short, you can men, dude. I will show you where witches are buried in Salem and all that shit. I would love to be a connoisseur and just any of your boys there? Any man ever want to say hi? No one want to peek their head on real quick? Say hi.
They're all still sleeping, bro. It's early morning here for them. It's Saturday mornings. They're all sleeping in.
You're a future man. You're in Tomorrowland. You're in Saturday. 5 minutes to go, William. What can we talk about? 5 minutes to go. What do you want to name drop? What do you want to talk about? 5 minutes. You want to ask me a question?
Oh my God, what do I want to talk about? Yeah. What's your favorite location you've ever been to?
For just in general, or just for like movie related?
History wise. Sorry.
Oh boy. I'm gonna name drop three. My top three. Okay, my top three. My number one is I've been behind the Walgreens, which is a little drugstore, like a convenience store. They sell drugs. Yeah, aspirin. Is a Walgreens in Salem, and right behind Salem is Proctor's Ledge, and that's where they hung 18 of the 20 people convicted of witchcraft in Salem. One was pressed to death downtown. One died in prison, and 18 men and women were hung on this hill. And there's nothing there but a couple of rocks.
I've actually seen photos of that place. That's crazy.
It's pretty wild. That's one of my favorite. I'm gonna do it just because, not only because I love you and I'm trying to copy you, but Gettysburg. I've been to Gettysburg 4 times, and every time I go there, Sachs Bridge, Devil's Den. You just look and you just see the stuff and you hear the stuff. And I can see it like New Zealand. I can see it like Switzerland, even Australia. Excuse me. The landscape, the wooden fences, the old bars with the wood, the brick buildings. Am I right? It's like England. It's just very old.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful location. And
isn't it though?
It is. It is.
Take the hauntings out of it and just look at the fucking place. You go, the place, there's still Amish there with horseback. I feel like I'm in the 1800s. I feel great. So,
exactly.
Yeah, that's my number two. My number one probably is Bangor, aka Derry, Maine. I DoorDash there. I'm 45 minutes away where I live. Stephen King lives there, but not only that, Al Brady was killed there in 1939 after Bonnie and Clyde, America's gangsters, were killed. He was America's most wanted. He got shot in the street. J. Group, FBI. He's buried at Hope King Film Cemetery. Al Brady was shot here. America's first Republican vice president. He was Republican Vice Abraham Lincoln. He died on a couch playing cards, and that couch is on display at the Bangor Library in Bangor, Maine. He's buried. Hannibal Hamlin. He's buried at Mount Hope next to Al Brady, where Stephen King was buried, where Gage was buried, where Stephen King was the priest. So I love Mount Hope Cemetery. It's a second oldest garden cemetery, 1812.
Wow.
I love it, man.
I'll
bring you around, Will. I'll bring you around and show you some shit, William.
I'm sure you will, brother. I'm sure you will, and I'm looking forward to it. Absolutely.
So yeah, appreciate the question, man. I love my history. I drove to Iowa. I saw the Vasilla axe murder house where 8 people died, 6 children, horrible, with an axe murder. They found them. So I've been to Lizzie Borden's house. I've been places. Life's short, right? You got to go where things are. And if I get the kids to go overseas and I get the kids to go to Australia, dude, and check out where you fucking are, the history. That asylum you went to, Airedale. Holy cow!
I mean,
it's a mansion. It's like it's 5 mansions
crazy.
in one.
It's 63 buildings, man. Like, that's crazy. You know,
You look at pictures on Google, and it's like a city.
Yeah, it is. It is. The thing is with Australia, our history is, 200 and something years. European history, not Aboriginal, but European history, squeezed in. Everything's squeezed into these couple of 100 years. Whereas I look at like America, hundreds and hundreds of years. I look at the UK, thousands of years back. Our history is so small compared to what you guys have, but still, I believe that's why a lot of these places are so intensely haunted, because there's so much has been squeezed into that small time frame.
They're dying to be heard. They're
Pretty
yelling
much.
to you. Yeah, brother. Yeah, brother. And you're examining what you can. You're a historian of Australia, man. I got nothing but love for you. We're going a little bit over. I don't want to take up all your time. So as we close up, William, last question for me, so when everybody in chat says hello and good night and everything. Last question for me is, what do you expect out of William Tabone, Amanda Tabone, Australian Paranormal Society out of 2023? What do you guys see yourself doing? Do you guys see yourself doing more books, films, documentaries, more tours? Like what?
I would love to. I'd love to. We got, as I said, we've got a couple of books in the works, so hopefully get them sorted, get them out. But they're love jobs, mate. So there's no rush. I would, when I'm able, I would love to do a bit more filming, a bit more video work, that sort of stuff. Get out there a little bit more. I would love to travel, and see a lot more of these locations. Get back over to the States. I mean, ideally, you'd love to spend, full time doing this sort of stuff, but obviously, it's not possible at the moment.
If money and time was endless, right? If money and time had no end and no bottom.
Money and time had no bottom, we'd do a lot of things, bro. But look, improving. So 2023, 2024, improving, building, learning. That's the plan, bro. That's the plan. And helping.
Fucking A, man. You are literally, I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. You are literally, I'm sorry, but even though Amanda's not a voice here, the work that she does and what you do, you guys are kind of what the bar is, and to me, in this field, what I look up to. Ed and Lorraine Warren would be so proud of you both.
Oh, mate, you know what? They opened this field for people. They opened it for us, for us to be able to do it. I know everyone has their own opinions, but in reality, they were the ones that opened this field for us. And
commercialized it, so to speak, or at least took us out of the nut house. If you chase ghosts, you're not super crazy. You're just kind of weird.
Weird instead of nuts. Exactly.
Right.
And they made it a lot more easier, for us to well, not easier, but a lot more available for us to be out there doing what we do. You know what I mean?
No,
and pioneers, and that's what we that's what we respect them for. So. Yeah, and Amanda to me, who's that? Oh, Heather. Hello, Heather. Big love, doll. Amanda is the driving force behind what we do. She's the one that tells me if go for it. She's the one that tells me if I'm being an idiot as well. So I really need that. You know what I mean? Because
guilty, the yin and yang, brother. But you compliment each other so well, dude. I fucking love you guys. I look forward to your posts. I know you don't post super a lot, but I see when you post in the group, I usually know it's you. But I know your personal page, you don't post a lot. But you guys let me share my stuff. And I've reached, because when I share something, I get to invite the people that like it. So I get people to invite my page. And I get a lot of people from Australia, Britain, Nova Scotia, fucking whatever, Scotland. And any people that I meet from America, you guys are so willing to share your audience. It's awesome, people. I can't kiss your ass enough, Bill. I couldn't. I didn't bring you to the prom and dance with you.
We consider some people family, mate, and you're one of them. So you're one of ours, mate.
Fucking A. When I followed your guys' page, real quick before we go, we got a minute left. I'm gonna kick me out. Before we go, real quick, about 80 seconds. I followed you guys in 2016. I used to like Amanda's shit. I'd see her post like mansions and spooky shit, and I'm like, these people are cool. Getting to be more into it. I'm friends with Amanda, and then I became I got you on the show. So it's come full circle. William Tabone, this will be up on YouTube tomorrow. Historically Haunted YouTube channel. Check it out. Check out Australian Paranormal Society. William Tabone, Amanda Tabone. Haunted, comma, Old and Beautiful by Amanda APS. Simple Pimple. Check it out. Look forward to your stuff. Look forward to the future. Get these books, guys. Tell them Adam the Historian Ghost Hunter sent you. Give me the credit for it. So I know they don't. Hey, man, I love you. Spread my love to the family and kids when they fucking wake up and get the eggs on.
I will.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much for coming on, William.